So it's Friday, October the 20th, 2023, and we're doing a personal update.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing, Miss Catherine?
Pretty good. It's kind of awesome that we get to sit across from each other this time.
Yeah, we happen to be in the same place. If it's a little echoey, it's because we're in an Airbnb with a really tall vaulted roof. It's really pretty.
Yeah, it's nice.
But it makes for an echo. So sorry about the audio quality. We've got a good microphone, but it can only do so much.
Yep, it's all his microphone. Blame it on him.
It's the same microphone as you have.
Yeah, but we're not using mine. It's your microphone.
Okay, it's my microphone. All right.
So, what brings you to wonderful New York?
I'm on a writing retreat with my wonderful co-host and a friend of ours. So we're here to, what are we here to do?
I think we're here to pants a novel or something like that.
Something like that. Something like that.
Yep, we are doing the workshop How to Pants Your Novel with D&D. No outlines allowed.
No outlines allowed. That's scary.
I didn't even outline the workbook. The only thing that got outlined was when I went to them to be like, this is what I'm thinking of doing. And the guy joked that I brought him a 20-page outline. And he was like, you brought me, and I was like, well, I went into ChatGPT. All right, sat there and I was like, ooh, I know it makes lesson plans. I know how to make a lesson plan. Let me start making a lesson plan. So I made a whole lesson plan for the entire event. And that's what I brought. And he's like, you outlined this, but you're talking about not outlining. I was like, that's probably the only thing that's going to be outlined. So.
That sounds very like you.
Yep. It's been great.
And of course, we're starting tomorrow at what time?
11.
Tomorrow at 11, and you just now finished the book.
Uh-huh.
The workbook for it.
Yep.
That sounds like somebody who pantses to me.
Oh, absolutely. I've got to print it out tonight, too. Now, okay, in my defense, though, Staples wanted $50 per thing to print that out, and that's no. Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's expensive.
Yeah.
So.
Per copy.
Per copy. $50 per copy.
Yeah, so no, absolutely not.
Shouldn't cost you more than $10 a copy bound.
Well, that's what I thought when I was doing all the math. I was like, ooh, it'll cost me probably about $12 per book, which is fine because then that makes I make about a $10 profit from each person that shows up. But if it's $50, no.
Yeah, at that point
it's print day. I'm going to print it myself, and I'll be fine with that.
Yeah, with the venue, with having to pay the venue, you wind up taking a loss on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as a first-time thing, at least for me, break even is fine, but I don't want to take a loss on it. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, see, I went into this being I'm taking a loss on it, but I'm going to have fun, and I'm going to learn stuff from it, and I'm going to have stuff ready, and then when I do the next one, then I'll start probably making money. So I'm looking at my computer screen, and I just realized that you, typed out Lily's name for me, so I could see it better.
Oh, previous guest.
Yeah, so, just close.
Okay, there you go.
Distractions. Yeah, you don't normally see my ADHD side. You just see me at the screen. You don't see me over here being touch everything around me.
Yeah, you're sitting here fidgeting with a coaster.
It's a very nice coaster. It's very smooth. There's one spot that's not. It's right over here, and it's a little warped, but yeah.
There you go. Okay, what are you reading? Anything?
I'm waiting on a friend of mine to give me a book that I need to beta, but she hasn't gotten to there yet.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Not at all. I think it's a book 2/3/.5 that I'm waiting on. So, other than that, no, I've been...
Okay, that are forcing me to be part of this.
Ooh, our friend who is also staying with us.
You're now forcing me to be part of this. It's 1.5.
1.5.
Book between books 1 and 2, and I have 2 more scenes. And you can read it. You might be able to read it by tonight.
Ooh.
Okay, if you're going to be on the show with us, you have to introduce yourself. Name and pronouns.
All right. So, my name is Sharon Coleman, but I write under Kim Lark, and I go by she, her.
Thank you.
Those are my pronouns.
Okay.
And I'm sticking with them for the rest of my life.
There you go.
Yes, I'm knitting. Catherine's distracted by my knitting. And she's distracted by my very cute little row marker.
Oh,
on my
it's a row
knitting,
marker. Okay.
because it looks like jewelry.
All right. No, sorry. Anyway, what are you reading? Are you reading anything fun?
I'm reading a nonfiction book about editing for my fictionary certification, and it's going very slowly because I'm a very slow reader, especially of things that for me are hard to read, and editing books are hard to read. So, but I'm enjoying it. I'm still working on the fictionary edit. I just finished editing scene 14 of 98.
Nice.
So it's going slowly, and it's not happening really this weekend because I seem to be in New York, and
And New York's amazing, so like you got to do New York stuff. Like
It is-
get apparently a coat because you left one.
yeah, because I left my jacket in Texas. Yes, and of course it's raining.
I would like to share, though, that we decided to take the scenic route. I picked Aaron up at the airport in Hartford, Connecticut, and we drove from Hartford, Connecticut to New York, the scenic route. And this time of year, it was absolutely breathtaking. If you've never been to New England in the fall, it's definitely worth a trip at some point in your life because it was so beautiful.
It was gorgeous, and we even got the unexpected bonus of going over a one-lane. You have to alternate with the oncoming traffic. Covered bridge, little red covered bridge. It was gorgeous. It was so much fun.
So typically New England. It's
Yeah.
hard to find them these days because most of them have been replaced with, practical bridges that two cars can go on at the same time. But it was kind of fun to get to go over one.
Yeah, and this was some kind of park or something that we were driving through, and there were people with their dogs sort of staring at us like, "Are you going to hit me? Are you going to hit me? Are you going to hit me?"
Yeah, welcome to New York. No.
Yeah,
They
it
just
was,
walk on the road.
It was a hiking trail that we were driving.
Yeah, it was a hiking trail, so
Breathtaking.
it was gorgeous.
Nice.
It was really hairpin turns. It was great. 15 miles an hour, and they were serious.
Oh yeah, yeah. So like if there's a sign up here that's like don't go more than 15, yeah, don't go more than 15.
But better than the hairpin turns I drove on in Turkey years ago, which were on cliffs. And there were no signs to warn you to slow down.
So, anyway, I had a good flight, and that's all that happened. I mean, I've had a relatively slow week because I spent Tuesday and Wednesday getting things ready, and Thursday in the air. So, I bought myself a new laptop, like I absolutely should not have,
Oh my god.
but I did.
And it's not even like a PC, like he should have, but whatever.
Hey, I went full fruit a few years ago, and so it's a MacBook, and I love it.
It's not full fruit. There's a bite shaken out of it.
So what editing book are you reading?
Yeah.
It's a I don't even remember the title. I'd have to look it up. But
Title and author, we want to know.
title and author. Okay, here we
Well,
go.
while he's looking that up, what's interesting is that I don't think about the fact that there's editing craft books out there. Like I've always been like, oh yeah, there's writing craft books. And then editing is such like a mystery to me, even though like I am an editor and I do edits, but I've always been like, well, how do people learn? There's craft, like you saying that there's a craft book. I was like, oh my God. The only other craft book I've ever read for editing was the Story Grid.
That was a
That's
hard
rough
book.
That's the only one I ever read. I understood it, but like that was the only one. And I was like, oh. And I got some stuff out of it.
Yeah.
Granted, I also think that he was very much into Silence of the Lamb. Very much ruined the entire movie because I had never seen it.
Oh, that's
So-
a shame. Because it's a good movie.
Yeah. And then I watched it with Trevor after, but yeah.
Okay, Secrets to Editing Success by Kay Stanley and L. Cook. There we go. That's what I'm reading.
What's your biggest takeaway so far?
My biggest takeaway so far is that editing is detailed.
Detail oriented for sure. Yeah.
Very detail oriented, yeah. And it's something, I mean, it's yeah, Ms. Catherine is still getting over bronchitis apparently.
We don't know what it is.
It's the flu that's going around New England. I'm getting over it too. So excuse our coughing and hacking up lungs in front of you.
Yeah. Every child I work with has some kind of cold, and every parent's like, it's just a cold, it's fine. Or it's just seasonal allergies. And I'm like, keep your child home. I don't want to be sick anymore.
So anyway, that's that's what I'm reading, and that's what I took away from it so far. I'm not very far into it, but I'm a very, very slow reader, and I don't read often, which is bad. I know writers need to read, editors need to read, and I need to read more. But that's where I'm at today. So,
You know what I've found with like the whole, oh, you need to read a whole bunch. I really like the work that I write. It's really good, in my opinion. But then I've also got certain people's writing that I'm like, yes, where's your next book? And they're waiting and waiting and making me wait so long. And I'm like, but that's the kind of stuff I want to read right now. And then I'm picking stuff off the shelf and I'm like, you're not what I want to read. And it's very hard for me to like find some good books right now that I'm like, it fits this style that I'm looking to read just because I can, or it's like it's fitting my historical side that I want to read, but it's not doing it, and it's just very obnoxious right now.
or it's my sci-fi bent that's got, bird people in it.
Yeah.
Okay, they're giving me a hard time because so Aaron and Catherine both are my biggest fans on book 1, and they've both read book 2, and I was supposed to give them book 3, but I got distracted by writing book 1.5.
I mean, you've given me parts
It's
of
a novella.
book 3. Yeah.
A novella is book 1.5, which I will get you the rest of it by the end of the day. That'll give me a nice deadline. I only have a couple more sheets to finish, so.
Good. And I need something to read. Like, I read fan fiction like there is no tomorrow. Like, I've got some authors in there that I will follow whatever they read. If you publish a book in there, I wish they would be like, yo, I publish my own stuff. I'd
What's
be
your
like,
favorite fan fiction stuff? Don't be ashamed. Like, the look, she's taking a look on her face right now. She's like, I'm afraid to tell you.
so like
It's fine.
there's
Like,
two
there's no guilty
animes.
pleasures. Like-
There's 2 animes, and it's Soul Eater or The Full Metal Alchemist. And like those worlds were like awesome, and I just read through them.
Nice. I'm not.
All
familiar with
shippings. Gotta say that because
All
some
what?
all shippings. So like when you ship certain characters,
Gotcha.
and then you get some really weird shippings. Unless it's siblings, I don't do the incest thing.
Oh,
Ew,
yeah,
no.
Huh?
There's a lot of that out there, and I'm like, no, Ed and Al do not do that.
I wonder.
I don't care if Ed does it with somebody else, not a sibling.
I wonder. It was such a popular trope back in the 80s of sibling romances, and I wonder if that's kind of what it is. It's like people that liked that trope then and still. Yeah, it doesn't do anything for me either.
Yeah.
The whole siblings.
No,
It's
it's
like,
it's more skeevy. Like some people get skeeved out by certain. Like my boyfriend, it's cannibalism. If you have cannibalism.
Oh, me too.
Oh, really?
Oh, me
See,
too.
like I'd be down for eating a human.
See,
Like if someone was like, "Yo, I've cooked up human. Want to try some?" I'm like, "Do I know the person? No, cool. I'll try it." Like,
No, I'm so skeeved by that. That's why there was a very popular book that was being recommended that got ruined because that was a feature of it at one point, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone, so I'm not even going to say what book it was, but
yeah.
no, I can't
That's
do the-
Trevor's. Any
I can't do
TV
the
show,
cannibal. I'm with him.
any book, it's like if it's cannibalism, we're done. Mine is like that, like creepy incest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially siblings. Siblings is so weird.
It's
Like
why would you
parents
want to?
and you, no. Siblings and you, no.
And yet there's a whole slew of like romance that are into like the stepfather stepdaughter thing. That too.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird too.
Oh, we're totally getting it.
Yeah.
Not
But anyway,
PG.
so
This
that's
is not PG.
it's not. No, we curse on it.
No, okay. Yeah, fuck that noise.
But no, so I read a lot of fan fiction, and I wish I could remember her name, but she's got like 200 stories in there, and most of them are like 150 to 200K each, and I read all of her stuff all the time, and I'm like, write me a book, or just turn that into your book, change their names, I'll be fine with it. Like, you should publish this stuff. It's very good. She writes in all kinds of universes, just takes the characters into fun. But anyway, so that's what I read.
Sharon, what about you? What are you reading?
Currently, I've been reading my own stuff because I'm going to edit it. What did I read most recently? I went on a oh gosh, I would have to look it up. I went on a romance novel stint a while back and read a bunch of little romances that were actually really good. I'm gonna look it up so that people will know. It's gonna take me a second for my Kindle to load and then I can find it in my Kindle library. So She's I think a mainstream. Like I don't think she's indie. She might be indie.
Maybe she's a hybrid.
I'm almost there.
It's okay. I've realized that this coaster is kind of squishy, but if you bend it, it will break. But I guess that makes sense.
Lucy Score. And so I read 2 of her novels. The second one I read was Things We Left Behind, and the first one was, I can't remember, but if you look up Lucy Score, you'll find them. They're pretty obvious. And then I'm reading some writing craft books, and I also went down a rabbit trail, because I'm the opposite of Erin. I'm a voracious reader. I read really fast. I mean, like the Things We Left Behind, I think I read in half a day. So, and I also went on this rabbit trail on language learning. And the military has a rapid immersive language learning program that they use that they put people through, and it's anywhere between 6 months, I think, and 2 years, this program. And by the time they're done, they're native fluent in the language, which I was so impressed by. And then as I was going through, they have this special test they give people to qualify for this program, and it isn't any language you know, it's your aptitude for learning languages. And you can get the test on Amazon. So I downloaded the test, and I was playing around with that. And it was fascinating because they use a fictional language to test your aptitude for learning languages. And it was really interesting to go through and play with that. So I was playing with that a lot.
You gotta send that to us.
I actually knew a guy many years ago who took that language battery and he joined the army specifically so that he could learn Russian. He wanted to learn Russian. He was someone who was very, very adept at languages. He could do Spanish Pig Latin at conversational speed.
Fun.
He was hysterical.
Yeah.
Anyway, he could do English Pig Latin at conversational speed too. And you could understand him, but nobody could go that fast. And anyway.
Right.
And so he joined the army, and it was like, yeah, they put it in writing. I get to learn, Russian for a year, and then 4 years at the pleasure of the army. So,
so apparently with this, you actually don't get to choose which language you learn.
Oh wow!
You get to pick like your top 4, and you may get one of the top 4, and if they don't need any of those top 4, you're going to get whatever they're currently needing.
What they're needing, yeah.
So the whole thing was just fascinating to me. So these rabbit holes would go down. So
I'll have to ask my friend if she did that, because she learned Korean a very short amount of time.
Yeah. That was actually the YouTube that got me down this rabbit hole. The girl that they interviewed had learned Korean. So it's all like I said, these weird things, these weird rabbit holes you go down. If I look at my Kindle library, there are lots of recent reads.
Well, we may do an update on Sunday just to talk about how things went
at the workshop.
Workshop.
Yeah.
That'll be fun, and we'll let everybody know how it went. And we're planning on recording the workshop, and so you may, no promises, hear some of that on the podcast feed. So we'll see how it goes. If the recording doesn't come out, then we're kind of screwed. But we do want a minimum of quality. But I did get some lapel microphones that we can play with and maybe learn how to use in the next 12 hours.
They're cute.
They are cute.
They look like little bunny butts on top of a little square.
They do look like
little bunny butts.
Yeah, they have
the little poofy things.
little poofy things. Yeah, exactly.
Little bunny butts.
Little bunny butts. Yeah. So.
That's to stop the and the.
Yeah, it's they're
To stop those spit noises.
Yes. Yes, exactly. So that's what we got going on this week. Anything else?
Nope.
I'm good. I'm looking forward to the workshop. It should be fun.
Yay.
Alrighty. Well, we've got our regularly scheduled episodes still coming out, and we got some good stuff coming up that I'm not going to say anything about on the mic, but y'all need to stay tuned because it's going to be good. And that's all I got for today. So we'll see you next time.
Stay magical.
Bye.
Bye.